Sarah, good morning.
Morning.
And thanks for your time. So what do you understand about what they're asking people to submit? What are they asking for and what would that achieve?
So my understanding, Vivek, is they're asking for a list of social media account names, not logins.
Okay.
The announcement was made on Friday, so I think there is a degree of ambiguity about what exactly it's all going to be used for. But certainly what was announced by the US State Department official who made the announcement is they're going to be looking for, they're asking in a drop-down when anyone is applying for a visa, even a temporary visiting visa, a list of your social media accounts over the past 5 years, phone numbers of the past 5 years, and email addresses. The email addresses for me is quite a strange one.
Yeah, what would you do with that? Because isn't that private? What would you do with that? I mean, unless you want to mail somebody.
They're not looking for your logins, but
yeah.
I mean, you know, it's if you're an FBI agent,
CIA, yeah, that would be my fear. Is
if
that
you have a list of the first part of somebody's email address or multiple email addresses, you know, I'm not exactly sure what one would achieve with that. What's also an interesting thought to me is, you know, they made an announcement that if you lie in this application, there will be serious immigration consequences. So where that's interesting to me is, you know, there are a number of people we see with anonymous or pseudonym accounts.
Yes.
You know, we've got a number of them in South Africa, and sometimes they actually achieve a social good in in using a pseudonym account. What would be the consequence for someone like that to not disclose their pseudonym account?
Well, they're looking for things for the past 5 years. So
yes.
I would imagine if I wanted to fake the system or trick it in any way, I could go and create, you know, a new one just for the sake of this visa application. What stops me from doing that? You know, have a couple of followers to say I've just started, but it doesn't go back 5 years. So how would that work? I don't understand how they would
it's really, as I say, the implementation is uncertain. It's quite a new announcement. It follows off, as you said, last year's announcement of Trump doing extreme vetting on any immigrants. I mean, the idea is an anti-terrorism threat, but this, of course, is met with a whole lot of trepidation by people who think that this new policy is going to be used in a discriminatory way. For example, if I am Muslim and I post content, you know, about my religion or about my belief system on my social media accounts, which I'm perfectly entitled to do, is that then going to be used against me in my visa
application? And what
application.
can you say? What should you be saying and shouldn't you be saying anyway, you know, on that?
I mean, it's very ambiguous. For me, my takeout from this is it is a good reminder for everybody to sort of clean up their online CV.
Yeah.
You know, we hope that it's not going to totally curb freedom of expression.
Yeah.
But, you know, there is a message that we can take out that you need to always be mindful of what does your online CV look like? What does it look like when someone goes onto your social media accounts, when someone Googles you, whether it's a US State Department or a potential employer?
Now, who do we really think Donald Trump is actually targeting? You mentioned immigrants and a real crackdown on those who are immigrants who come into the US. So do we really think that these are the people that he's trying to keep out of the US?
Well, as with anything Trump, we raise our hands in the air.
I'm very confused.
But, you know, it is stemming off his announcement last year that he was trying to curb terrorism and extremists. But previously, this kind of extreme vetting was only reserved for people who demonstrated, you know, the need for extreme surveillance, not the ordinary person like you and me.
Yeah.
So it's uncertain why they've taken this up a notch, and it's uncertain whether it will be used and abused, or whether it's, you know, just trying to give everybody a fright. You know, we're hoping to get some more information as to how it will actually be implemented.
Well, I understand that there have been a couple of pilot projects when it comes to things like this, pilot programs using social media surveillance in those programs as well. But that was, like you say, looking at anybody who might be involved or might be aligned with terrorism as well. So I wonder what results those pilot programs actually yielded, if they were actually able to stop any terrorist activity. To your knowledge, I mean,
to
has
my
it been
knowledge,
successful, social media
I'm unaware. I'm not able to really speak to the success of those pilot projects. But another point I just also wanted to raise is, because this policy applies to accounts over the last 5 years, we also need to be careful. You know, sometimes we forget about accounts that we've opened.
Yes.
And, you know, so say you opened an account 4.5 years ago, you forgot all about it, it's worth using resources to check any accounts you might have open.
How do you check that?
There's a resource called Just Delete Me. It's a website where you can punch in your personal details, and it can give you a list of any accounts you might have opened that you may have forgotten about. So that's quite a valuable tool to use, just to sort of clean up your online CV as well.
Okay, Just Delete Me
Yes,
is what you
Just
need to
Delete
look
Me.
for. Okay, so I wonder if anybody with all of this going on would actually want to visit the US if you have to go through. It makes you feel very unwanted. So why would you want to go there? Well, I suppose we're all equally confused. Let's hope for some more clarity. Who knows? Tomorrow morning, Donald Trump might wake up and decide that everybody is welcome in the US for free. Let's see what happens. It is him after all. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sarah Hoffman, a social media law expert from the Digital Law Company, and that program, Just Delete Me. Go and check what accounts you have in your name, partner. Now more news from the continent.